What's up, Union Arena players? This is Kyle D, better known as Universities, and today we're going to be talking none other than a fancy tier list for week 1. Week 2 will be this Saturday, I think is going to be when I make the next video for weeks 2 event details, and I think it will see some decent change up. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So as you can see, we have Goddess Kenpachi Zaraki. We also have, Blue Kirito still kind of doing its swap shenanigans. We have Red Asta, some sort of variant, taking up some wins as well. And then we do have Green Saitama actually pulling in some weight as well. Again, very pilot dependent and understanding of how the deck has to play to kind of get those wins. Then we do have Purple Bleach. We have 2 versions. We have the upgraded Rukia Ichigo version, and then we do have the Squad Zero version taking up some wins as well. Blue Bleach sneaking up, and then Purple Black Clover stealing some wins as well. Blue JJK, but no Purple Code Geass this week. I think this is just people just getting off the deck because they want to get some new deck taste in. And of course, it just happens like that. Then you do have, Red Demon Slayer. You do have some Red Noelle. You do have the green Black Clover deck. You do have Rukia sneaking in, Esper Sisters, Lancelot, Megumin, Tanjiro Nezuko, Bombietta. We also do have the Kurapika sneaking in and Purple Black Bulls. So great value across the board, to be honest with you. So let's see where everything kind of is landing. So first off, if you don't know, go check out Joseph Ryder. This we'll talk about for the following, because it was just posted this week. I have to save it for week 3. So Mikhail, I will make sure I cover you, but use this on Twitter or Instagram. This will help me find your list. But yeah, just keep that in mind, because again, I want to be able to cover your stuff and be able to find it. Best way to doing it is use Unarena tops. But as you can see, Goddess is putting in some work as always. The deck has a lot going for it. Integrity Knights, Lancelot, and Bombietta. So I think at the end of the day, what you want to take away from this is this deck has a lot going for it. And this was the big yellow deck that everybody's been waiting for. Goddesses seem to be what people were gnawing and clawing at to be playing for Sword Art, because of the abilities it has, being able to have Snipe with Shion, have Asuna be able to lock something down, and then you have Lifo, who has Nullify Impact and also is a big booty brat. So at the end of the day, being able to make sure that they can't interact with the Goddess is huge. Now, again, we take a look. Here's the Dante deck. If you guys don't know, the Tree of Clefort is basically at the end of your attack phase. If you have no cards in your deck, 3 or more Dark Triad affiliated cards with unique card names on the field, you win the game. So basically you want to get some sort of combination of Dante plus Valsin, Statistic Mommy, and Xeon as some way, shape, or form on the field. And then boom, you are in a good spot to win the game. Just giving you an alternate win con, definitely scary for a lot of matchups. And again, it doesn't have a bad non-trigger count. It's at only 7 non-triggers, which really brings this deck into a league of its own. It is kind of slow because you have to play it right. If you are one of those dedicated players, this actually really is good. Now, you do have Purple Bleach Volume 2. This is my current list that I used and I got top at Rumble with. This is a very good list in my opinion. I like where it goes. The deck plays fluently. Because we don't have zero cost Rukia, Kirino is basically one of your best options because she is at least a draw trigger when hit. My goal is to have at least the least amount of non-triggers in the deck, and Ichigo hits that bill is being my only non-trigger. I did play an increase in Oetsu's because I felt like that was a good option, and I really did like the tech. I think this is in a good spot. I think having him at a full playset really allows to apply pressure. I think the 3-3 split is really good because Sometimes you can get the early game to pop off and then you can hit for double damage early, but most of the time you want to get those draws in because you're missing out on the zero cost Rukia, which is important because zero cost Rukia kind of swings in and dies. I was testing Orihime, but I don't think it had enough grounding for me to enjoy it. So all in all, though, great stuff for the deck. Now, we do have Black Bowls. This plays similar to how you would expect it to do. It's a very tribal-esque affinity, so they want to be seeing as many Black Bowls to be able to do that. This one requires 4 or more others, and this one requires 6 or more others. So kind of with those tribal decks that basically says as long as you do this you gain more abilities, it's very commonplace. Asta is going to be able to nullify impact. It's huge. You do have Yami being able to deal some massive damage as well, and again, this deck has a lot going for it in a good way. Now, Red Asta Noelle seems to be where the high red deck is kind of going and people are leaning into. I think this gives them a plenty amount of targets to work with. I know that people are going to go like, well, I'm missing, I have 8. I should have 16 targets. And I know we got gypped on it. I think the deck would have been fine with or without it, but with Sea Dragon's Lair combination with Noelle, you can deal in some extra damage too, because being able to force block and be able to deal extra damage is huge. I think Noelle being Noelle, and all in all, great deck, to be honest with you. Blue Bleach, I'm still trying to get this deck to work. I'm being honest with you, but this seems to be the hybrid version that people are starting to lean into. With the Rukias, you have the Orihimes, you have, Renji, and all the good stuff in there. You want to have this if you have a 2 action point to draw a card instead of draw a discard. It happens from time to time, but all in all, though, Ichigo has a lot going for it because it does have Getsuga and Zangetsu. Being able to draw cards with Zangetsu and just apply pressure is always good. Now, rude. Now, we do have Megumin. Megumin hasn't updated yet because it hasn't got a next wave of support, and I don't think it gets much in that way. Yeah, Mr. 8 attack, Kirito. Just being able to attack, being able to swap in, get 5 attacks, or get up to 8, depends on Kirito's stance. Now, we do have Hunter x Hunter, Hisoka being Hisoka. At 2, you got Kurapika being able to apply pressure, as always. Zombie Bombietta. So if you guys are wondering a confident list, I think this is probably a good starting point for you guys. It has 9 non-triggers on the deck, and I'm pretty good with making a judge character-wise. I think this deck has a little bit of good grounds to stand on. Yellow Bleach is always kind of hit or miss, but with Zombie Bombi, Etta, the Bambi's deck, I think this is pretty solid. Now, Tanjiro Nezuko, another multi-attack deck, very aggressive, gets it kind of mid-range tempo, just gets that gets the mid-range and gets the multi-attack, and just the impact being able to swap with the Nezuko's effects is huge. Now, again, another Ichigo deck. Let's go by cost. So this seems to be where people are going to probably lean into, the Orihimes, you got the Rukias, you got the Ichigos, you got the Renjis. Deck's stupid expensive if you try to max rarity. Please don't try to max rarity this. Taking a look, though, Blue JJK. Still not disappearing out of the meta. We know this just because I still hate this card. Just play him at a full playset if you're going to do that. But I know why they want a 1 cost. Just why aren't you just going full throttle here? I get the bounce, but that's just bad. I hate bouncing cards back to hand. It just feels like you're losing tempo. Saitama, if you guys don't know, this deck wants to just punch your opponent in the face for all their life in one go. Now, you do have Noelle Mimosa. This deck is pretty good. This is a very big 5-headed kind of play deck. You don't just try to roll up on this. It has a high number of non-triggers, so be careful of that. It's like 6, 10. So just understand that you will probably get times where your security is very light on nothing else to do. So be prepared for that. I definitely think Mimosa in the list is super important, plus Noelle. you know, both of these are vitally important. Again, up to you how you want to play it. Now, again, Kenpachi Zaraki. So, 0 cost. It has a lot going for it in the right way. I don't know if you really want to play Sanjin the raid, but hey, start of your turn, place the top card of this raid character to the sideline. You'll be able to block. This character can't be switched to resting or returned to your hand by your opponent's abilities. When played, draw 2 cards. Not bad to give your double energy generator a option. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you how you want to build, but Kenpachi is Kenpachi. It's just a powerhouse. Now, we do have Esper Sisters, similar to, you know, the girls. This one, it's basically a very much 5-headed play style. You have to know what you're doing, and it's rewards you for doing so. Now, this is Squad 0. Some people do lean into a more focused, you know, just Squad 0. This is your only removal, and everything that Squad 0 does come in. Royal Palace, if you have just this much and this is your only non, the likelihood of you actually whiffing on this dang thing is 9 impossible, because the only things you got, this, and this. So 4, 8, 12, 16 non-cards. 15 non-cards if you have 1 out, and it gets less and less as the game goes on, but that drawing ability is super clutch. Now, again, swap, just does swap things. Now, we do have the Saitama punching for all out game, does happen. Another Saitama list, very similar. Then you do have the boys. The boys is another deck that I feel like really depends on the pilot. It's very aggressive, can deal a lot of damage pretty quickly. Up to you how you want to. But I think Bento is one of the best sight cards, because this allows you to now make the better trades. Again, 5Ks ruin your day so many times. So having Bento really does matter. Now, you do have trying to win the game with the tree again. And then we do have goddesses being goddesses, just being able to apply pressure. This deck has so much going for it, and as the game goes on, by ruining your own life and just trying to give yourself rewards is really good. But all in all, guys, hopefully you found this video informative and useful. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.